Welcome to the AMMNA Championships for 2023 from WA this year, proudly supported by Spudshed. I'm joined in commentary by Matthew Blomley. We're here for a match-up between WA and Victoria men's reserves.
I'm looking forward to this game. First game for both these sides. We'll go through the lineups for you. In goal shooter, Liam Kelly. Goal attack, Josh Smith. This is Victoria. Wing attack, Steve McCallum. Centre, Adam Franz. Wing defence, Jake Dambrauskas. Goal defence, Simon Cartwright. Goalkeeper, Daniel King. And there has been a change from the lineup that we received for WA. So we do have a different goal shooter than what we've got written down. But the rest of the side is Hawthorn in goal attack, Svendano in wing attack, Ross in centre, Brady wing defence, Stothard in goal defence, and one of the many kings on court in goalkeeper for WA as well. Yeah, and the change just down there, just on cue actually, is Tangata. So just the change from Hosier to Tangata to start the GS for WA. King comes up with a nice rebound for Victoria. Now to put them into attack and hopefully consolidate a break here early. So just playing patient here. WA set up with a nice box defence across the court. Long ball into, and there's a matchup that's going to test the defenders down there all day. That's a big body that you've got to compete with there. So it's going to be a lot of work from the defenders. So that's Killy. So Victoria, after being finalists last year, now start their 2023 campaign against Western Australia on a home court. So now WA with the turnover. Getting pretty scrappy down there, Matt. Yeah, often is in these first round matches for the sides. Teams a little bit nervous, got to get out that energy. They've been building up for a couple of days and let alone the months beforehand here. So Spadano patient on circle edge. Finds Tangata under the post. Second shot does not go down, but Hawthorn. Nice offensive rebounds. Yeah, got to capitalise on those if you're a defender from Victoria. There's not many misses in these divisions. So WA strike first. And the nice fly from King. Oh, a bit of a collision down there with Franz and King. It was a beautiful attempt there from the WA King. Unfortunately, the little bit of a contact I wouldn't have thought on him. Would have thought it was actually on Ross that caused that. Yeah, and it left the mismatch under the post and a nice easy finish for Killy. Under the post. So now the hands over pressure comes from Victoria. WA having to play patient. Hawthorn wants to find circle edge. The nice long ball over top. Great back hold. Yet to finish a shot. And Cartwright to put WA back into attack. Victoria back into attack. Beautiful now on circle edge. Killy confidence. That's a match up down there that's going to be going at it all day, King and Killy. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work there for King, but it'll be intriguing to see. He is a player who does sit off the body at times, so if he can bring that into his game, I think it'll be tough for Victoria to find the target. Definitely. So WA now off the turnover. Brady wants to get it moving quickly. Spadano has to reset now. Hawthorn with a nice drive. Ross, great ball over top. It's going to come back. Contact on Hawthorn, I believe. So a bit of Radic out there to start. Shaking the nerves out, you think, for round one? Not surprised at all, but we'll see how they go. There's a lot of body action happening. So it's which team's going to settle and work out the clearest space. It's going to be a very physical match, I can see. A lot of hands over pressure out there. Pressure is immense already. And we're only a couple of minutes into the first quarter. Both teams want to get their 2023 campaign off to a good start. And as I say that, WA have just squandered an opportunity and it's going to come back through Victoria now. Very tough ball to give over that set of hands. Victoria's King. Long ball in. So opting for the 2-on-1 down there, WA. Which I'm not sure is actually the best idea. They're better off playing 1-on-1, putting the guess in. Just got to keep the body position guessing. It's always going to be tough. 2-on-1, 1-on-1, but you can't let a Josh Smith, who's out of goal attack, run rampant either. He will find range. The defence almost needs to be done out in front here to prevent it even getting to that circle. Got to be a lot more work done out in front. So WA now, pressure released here for Spadano. Finds Hawthorn. Mid-range shot, won't opt to put it up. Kicks it back to Spadano on circle edge. Now Hawthorn in range. And just leaves it shy, but he'll have another opportunity here. Fortunate to get the obstruction call there, considering how short the shot was. Just getting caught for the step in there, King.
So Hawthorn now gets his 2023 campaign off with his first goal. So Victoria here, a lot of space up front, and the held ball.
There's a good little swap defensively that occurred there that meant there wasn't the free ball across the court. It was well done to Stothard.
So Brady looking long, initially along the line to Ross, who finds Spadano on a great drive. Just out of the hands of Tangata, and Victoria now back on the offence. Quick transition here from Victoria. Great movement around.
That was nearly superb timing there from King.
He's going to need to do that all day. And Kelly again is causing already to be a headache for the WA defenders. So just a wayward pass, but Spadano cleans up. Now cross court to Brady. Back through Stoddard. The hands over pressure and is just immense out there by Victoria. Ross finds circle edge now. 2-on-1 in the circle. Hawthorn comes front.
That's a tough ball and somehow goes Victoria's way. Might have been a hand from Cartwright in goal defence there.
Yeah, very tough ball. Put his shooter under a bit of pressure. Victoria looking to transition quickly here. The cut-off by Brady, though. The wayward pass to France. And Spadano.
Yeah, probably should have given that first ball over to McCallum there, Smith.
The kicks it back out to Ross on circle edge. Hawthorn lively in that circle. Getting the movement going. Trying to free up his GS in Tangata. Does now. Great hands over pressure. And finishes.
And just getting caught on the little creep in for the obstruction. If King can keep his distance, that's going to be very tough.
So Kelly left all alone under the post. It's going to come back though. King out hunting, trying to prevent that ball getting anywhere near circle edge. Now
Beautiful
Smith
time.
for Kelly. Just been held up here, just the break, I believe. Defensive break. No, it's going to be a contact call on Smith.
Now, Victoria do run the risk having the target here in Keeley that your other goal is going to go off the boil if they don't start putting up some shots. It's nearly, 7 minutes through this first quarter. Need to see at least one shot, I think, from a goal attack at this point.
Yeah, see if Smith can come into this game. Why would you? And Keeley's shooting like that. Confidence from the big GS down there.
What a target to be trying to find.
Smith now, the long ball, and Keeley left all alone again. King out hunting. So WA, who got off to a bit of a flyer now, find themselves in a 4-goal deficit. And Victoria, the quick hands from
great
France.
hands by France.
Hands straight up. Now Smith gets his hands on the ball.
Did well to keep his feet there as well, Smith with the quick feet and hands.
Kelly. That's gonna be the telling of this match, isn't it? That combination down there, Smith and Kelly. So now Victoria playing patiently. Smith.
They're just giving Smith too much room out there in attack. At the moment, Stothard's slowed him back, but he's kind of floating back to no man's land. If he can at least pick someone up, put a little bit more pressure, I think that'll make it a bit tougher for Victoria.
Definitely. Smith, although not putting up the shots, he's definitely feeding well down there for Kelly. And just as I say that, Victoria now back on transition. Looking to consolidate a break here. WA opting for a spacey defence down court. Nice ball in and the quick hand up by Kelly and Stoddard.
That was beautiful timing.
Fantastic time ball in.
Just saw the eyes down and released at the perfect time.
Cartwright just keeps himself.
How did he stay onside then?
That's magic.
Any bigger feet and I think he would have been offside.
Totally. That's got to go in the highlight reel.
And there's a good first one for Josh Smith. Really crucial to get that.
So just a change here for WA. So Miller coming into WD now. Real lockdown defender. See what he can do down there. WA just over the baseline again. So maybe just a miscommunication.
They've lost a bit of rhythm and timing in their attack. If they can settle that back down, they're well and truly back in this game in this quarter. They came out very strong.
So France now wants to go long. Instead opts for Nebraska's. Long ball in and King gets his hands to one. He'll take that win for the day.
Absolutely. It was a worthy attempt, but absolutely killed it there, King.
And Stoddard's just put it back into the hands of Smith. Not sure what happened there. And Killy. Easy ball over from Smith. So France to kickstart Vic again. Now hold a commanding lead. 9 goals out. Stoddard makes amends. Gets hands to that. Great read.
And Victoria are playing with a little bit of confidence. They've settled early. WA need to find that again.
Yeah, Vic will want to be on the attack early in these 2023 AMMNA Championships after going down last year to New South Wales in the final.
Yeah, very tough game that they had last year in the final against New South Wales. Very hard fought. A rare time that Victoria hasn't won the reserves division.
So Ross, Spadano now, working hard. Great drive by Hawthorn over top. Now the shooter to shooter.
Spandano just need a little bit more on that to get that across, because good vision, just not quite the right execution.
And Hawthorn just leaves that one shy. Gives King the rebound. The long release to Nebraskis. Now Smith wants it back. Has his confidence from shooting before. Now taking a mid-range shot. Nice high arcing shot.
Well and truly
finish.
his range as well, that mid-range one. Suits his arc.
Fantastic finish. So great lockdown here by WA. It's going to be called for the contact on Miller. Ball over top to Killy. What needs to change down there, Matt? What are you seeing?
Well, in that particular example, I would have liked to see King not stuck on the body. It was really clear where to give that ball for Victoria. If he can come off, put a little bit more doubt, that's when it's a lot tougher for a feeder to get the ball through. Work those feet a bit more. Dancing feet sometimes is the term that might be used.
And after the great baseline drive by Hawthorn, he finishes to lift some confidence for WA now. So Victoria playing patiently. There's King off the body and almost gets his hands to one. I think he's listening to you down there.
Well, it's good to see the player respond. That he is such a player who can get around the body and has that athleticism. You don't want to see him stuck on a body.
No, that's correct. And King definitely does have that athletic ability to get around. Spadano now wants to fire one in to Tangata, and it's just deflected.
Got to get back circle edge there for that feed. Much stronger through there. Too many hands around otherwise.
Nice easy ball over top. Great front hold. Good positioning. So WA, now a change in GD.
Just flighted that beautifully to give the doubt that it was maybe going to the centre Franz, but popped in.
So change in GD now for WA. We've had Brady come into GD. Again, another lockdown defender. So now Spadano finds circle edge. It opts for the long.
That's a tough swing ball to give. Any cross court like that in the men's game, you're likely to get a circle defender having a hump, but beautifully contested down Bruscus.
So Franz now. Great drive by Smith. Just gains his balance now. Dombruscus now over top to Killy. Great ball. So WA here now 13 goals down. A minute and a half left in this first quarter. So Franz, what looks long. Eyes dart straight into that circle for Killy. Now Smith. And King just almost gets a hand to that one. Be interesting to see what Brady can do out in front here. Solid defender.
And that was the first miss for Killy as well.
So Ross regathers now. Hawthorn. Nice ball to Ross on circle edge. Great triangles. And the finish as well. That's some confidence boosting stuff for WA now. They'll be happy with that going into the end of the first. Franz the long ball. That's going to come back here to Dombruscus.
Just wanted someone to come forward to him.
Oh, great read by King.
Very lucky there, I'd say, Smith. He got himself in a little bit of trouble by stepping on. Didn't allow for the easy pass over.
Has the pass option, opts for the shot. And Killy with the rebounds. So 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter. WA looking to try and rebound here and gather some goals before the end of the first. Ross now circle edge. Great driving by Hawthorn, but Cartwright just tips it out. So WA trying to beat the clock here. Would love to get a sneaky one just before the end of the quarter, but no. The hand in by Dombrowskis. Now Cartwright. Can Victoria beat the clock?
Oh, not quite.
Not quite. Almost. So a commanding lead at the end of the first for Victoria. That combination of Smith and Killy really playing havoc down there with the WA defenders. What are you looking for in this second quarter, Matt?
I want to see a more settled lineup with WA. Once their attack hits the circle, beautiful feeds in. If they're feeding from off, it's a lot tougher defensively from them. I want to see them off the body a bit more, putting a bit more doubt in the mind, making it a little bit tougher. For Victoria, they've got to clean up a bit of their attack through the court. They start getting a bit sloppy. They've got to clean that up.
Excellent. So we'll take a quick break here. We'll go into the first quarter break. So this is the clash between WA and Victoria for the men's reserves. We're at the AMMNA Championships in 2023, proudly supported by Blade and WA. Back here for quarter two action at the Bendat Basketball Arena in Perth, Western Australia for the 2023 AMMNA Championships, proudly supported by Netball WA this year. This is the clash between Western Australia and Victoria in the men's reserves. Very, very commanding lead to start and strong combination in shooting down there by Kylie and Smith for Victoria. What are WA looking to do now for this quarter, Matt?
I dare say one of the comments made to them at the break was, let's settle, let's go back to our system. Don't try and play at the pace of Victoria. Play the way we're set up.
And a change early for WA now. So coming on to start for this quarter is Mo Hosier in at GS.
And some changes for Victoria as well. Andrew Burgess coming on to keeper. Daniel King moving out to goal defence, which also pushes Simon Cartwright out to wing defence. And in the attack, we're seeing Alex Nicol have a run at goal attack early on.
Excellent. So about to kick us off here for quarter two action now. Victoria to get us started. So opts for the back ball to Cartwright. Long ball over top to Kylie. Great drop back by Miller, but unfortunately just fingertips away. So now King, who's moved into WA. Move that ball quickly. Wants to get it going now. Ross to Hawthorn. Hawthorn just finds Hosier, and Hosier the through the legs pass to try and keep it in, and Victoria now to reload.
Just looking for an option up the middle there, Victoria, struggling a little bit.
This is Cartwright, now finds the drive. Comes from McCollum. And Franz over top, and it's just a wayward pass.
Yeah, small miscommunication going there. Zigging when there should have been a zag.
It was a great drive from McCollum to open it up, just the next ball wasn't on just yet. So now King to get us started again. Spadano. Oh, sorry, that's Ness. Jonah Ness come into WD for WA. Ross. Back to Spadano. Back to Ness, sorry. Playing patiently, but Ness has just put it out of reach of King and gives Victoria an opportunity again. Need to settle here, WA. Don't want to let this drag out to get any further now in the second quarter. Franz, quick ball in. Finds Nickel.
A bit of a shot pass.
Yeah, as a shooter, I'm going to call that one a shot. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Ness now. King wants to get it moving quickly. The bounce pass through to Hawthorn. Great
Very
drive
lucky
to
on the footwork there at King as well.
Yeah, King moving quickly out there, finds circle edge. Swing ball across to Ross. Now Hosier opens up. Great screen by Hawthorn.
Terrific use of backspace for Hosier.
And Hosier starts his campaign off. Vicky McCollum just fumbles. And, Hosier just keeps it in.
It was an interesting keep in. It was very much like a forearm down the line.
Yeah, it looked like a volleyball spike. I'm not sure. Now King again to clean up here. Hosier calling for the settle. King now. People forward to the ball and just a wayward pass to Hawthorn.
Very erratic start to this quarter from both sides. Although WA looked good in that first minute, they struggled a little bit with that erraticism. Victoria haven't found their rhythm just yet.
So now Victoria having to play patiently. The read by Ross. It almost looked like it was a directed pass to him. Now Ross back down court. Open circle for WA here. Hawthorn swings it back to Ross. Now the ball over top. Oh, not sure what's happened there.
I thought beautiful pass in, but maybe worried that he was going to be using the post a bit too much.
Yeah, so just the throw away. So WA need to settle here. Just both teams, like you said, playing just a little bit erratically. It'll be who settles first. Now Kylie, great hands in there by King.
And that's that doubt we're talking about in that first quarter. If he can put the doubt in there, he's great at flying at those.
Totally. He's come away with a win. So now WA back into attack. Ross, the backspace by Hosier. And the hands in there by Burgess. Now Victoria again.
And this is always a tough thing when you're trying to feed across to a transverse line. They've got no room to run onto it. You're likely to get hands to that ball.
So Miller transitioning down court for WA. Hawthorn releases the circle. The 2-on-1 and Hosier in the circle. And the wayward pass to King, and Hosier just
get a little bit of
traffic.
finesse back, I think, WA.
Just a bit of touch on the pass needed. So Victoria having to play patiently now. Looking to settle. Now the long ball. Great tip by Miller. And Ness and Ross kickstart. And Ness has just put it straight into the hands of Nichols. So now Victoria through King. Franz, the drive again by McCollum. And he's just put a wayward pass over the line. They've let WA off there.
Yeah, it was definitely a get out of jail card, that pass in the end for WA.
So Miller now through Ness. King. Ross opens up the court for WA. Now the swing ball, but
I love when goal shooters play defence.
just plucked it. And now the hold over top. There's that ball. Got to love when a GS does those sort of things.
It lifts a team when a goal shooter does that as well. All of a sudden there's a turnover that everyone can see. Every single player on court's playing defence.
Oh, the read by Burgess on Hawthorn, but just collects the body. Nope, it's going to be called out. So you hear the call from the WA bench. Go the short ball. And Hosier's just coughed it up and it's come back now.
Yeah, Franz almost looked shocked it was in his hands there.
Now Franz again through King.
Well, we have seen a change for Victoria as well. McCallum has come off and Torin Imarsha has come on.
Okay, so McCollum, who was driving that front end really nicely, now taking a breather. WA. Miller having a reset through Ness. Hawthorn. King now. Great mover of the ball. Hawthorn finds Hosier again. Vic opting for that 2-on-1 on Hosier. So now Hosier within range. Just off balance, and he's just left it shy. So Victoria quickly now through Cartwright. Kylie off balance.
He did a superb job of keeping that in. He was going backwards, and you could see he was like, I have no idea where the goal line is. Please be in.
It was almost like a moonwalk before he passed it off. Great presence of mind to get it off. And the long ball in.
A little bit too much on it. But I think this matchup's going to work well for Victoria. The way Ness plays defence, is going to work really well for AMMNA. He's got a little speedy person against him, a bit tougher.
So Spadano has now moved into WA. So King. So Miller patiently wants someone to open up, wants someone to come forward to the ball.
Just caught on the body there, Cartwright. And then not set, not taken in the correct position.
Not set. Wow, okay.
We don't see that often these days.
No warning to it either. Straight away, just called.
And interestingly then, not taken in the right spot, allowed to occur immediately after. Advice to all the kids out there.
No.
Check with the umpire where to take it.
That's it. So now, Vic have worked this patiently down court. Nichols that ball over top to Kylie. So hard to stop.
Very hard to stop. That said, this quarter been kept to 3 so far. And that's 8 minutes in.
I think King and Miller have adapted well to staying off the body. Now Ness. Ross comes forward now. Tries to thread the needle to Spadano, and it's going to come back the way of Victoria. Okay. So back through Cartwright now.
Yeah, there's a couple of players doing a little bit of a shuffle with that back foot on the release. Just got to be careful.
Now Victoria settled in here. Nichols, the easy one over top. King gets his hand to one.
Very close then from King. I love this aggression he's starting to show this quarter. He's coming off the body. And maybe the back space for him is the right option. He can work out where the player is and read it a bit better than when he was playing from in front.
Totally. Miller cuts off the drive, and it means the ball has to go in there.
So close again, King.
So Miller's doing a great job of cutting off the drive of the Victorian WA. So that's been a change. I'm not sure who's come into there.
AMMNA.
So doing a great job of cutting him off and not getting it. Forces that pass over, and King almost gets his hands to that one. Now WA looking to settle here. So King coming to GA now for WA. And a little shooter to shooter. Hosier gathers his own rebounds. And the swat from King.
And this is something King is very good at, of the Victorian variety. He did that in the Open Division last year. Gets it just after the release from the hand.
Hosier from range. Great high arcing shot. It's just left it shy. And now King of Victoria kicks it out to Franz. Cartwright wants someone to drive down the middle. Just over top of the fingers. Nichols now resets. Now the quick ball in.
I like that quick ball as well. Saw that the eyes were down, took advantage of it.
It's a great option. So Nichols playing patiently.
That was really patient on that feed as well. Saw that there was contest about to occur and just waited.
So King now working around that body of Kylie really nicely, but still just fingertips away. King now, circle edge. The long swing ball to Spadano. Hosier, great front hold, but King, within his range, I would say, kicks it back out to Spadano.
And this low game could work really well for WA that King plays. Just working nice and patiently, keeping it away from the long hands and arms of the aerial defenders.
Totally. It's something that King and Hosier are very damaging with. They can read the defence really well, and they'll try and keep it out of the air because both Burgess and King will want to take a fly. So WA look like they're going to get this one back here, I believe.
Again, I like a chase from a goal shooter like that from Kylie. It was beautifully done. Unable to keep it in, unfortunately.
Nest, the cross-court ball, dangerous.
Almost screened by their own players to help keep that work in WA. It was very fortunate.
So King, kick back to Miller. And just the hands in there by Franz. Great save by Spadano. King breaks it up. Now Ross. Here we go again, this short play. This is what WA needed. Opting for this mid-range shot. Does get it off, but called off.
Getting the held ball, but it was a beautiful shot, that said. Probably just the waiting for the block to come is probably going to pull you a few held balls if you're not careful. King sits for a long time there.
And King does have some range, so Victoria will now probably know that, seeing that shot. And Spadano. So WA now starting to string some combinations together out there, which are really starting to fire.
And please forgive us for the number of Kings that we're calling out on court. There are a lot. We'll try and make sure we're getting the right ones to you.
Yeah. So Miller, Ross. He hasn't had a breather yet, so him and Fran's been going at it all all morning so far. Victoria now back through France.
It's been a great battle between those two as well. Both play a different style, but working for them.
Totally. And both great movers of the ball. So France
trying to work the mismatch.
You can see King playing really far off that body. He's almost wanting to go for that fly. I can see him just begging for that ball to go in long. But Kylie gets the easy one under the post. So Ross has just put Spadano under pressure there. Wants someone to come forward, but instead resets through Ness. Now King, it's just gone through the hands of Spadano.
Just took his eyes off it briefly.
I think he spent it before he had it. Nichols now through Franz, the long ball. That's really letting WA off, because if they can work it to circle edge, it's very, very hard to get that ball back.
And you want to keep building that pressure. The more you get in circle edge and easy balls in, the harder it is for WA.
King. That's the re-throw from Ness, so nothing forward to the ball now. Ross finds King on circle edge. And there's that short game. King within range, I would think, but instead opts for Spadano on circle edge. And Hosier. Great back space here. Oh, great movement by King. Gets the ball exactly where he wants it.
Oh, and is unable to finish, unfortunately, but they do get another opportunity.
Great patience in there from the front end of WA. Hosier within range. The high arcing shot. Just put it in the hands of King.
They've got to stop worrying about what the defenders are doing here, WA goalers. You're going to get some shots blocked, but generally it's going to fall back in your hands. Stay with your natural action and just finish with that arc. Otherwise, they're falling short, as you're seeing.
King comes away with the Kylie fumble. And now Spadano. King outside by himself, so the very crowded defensive circle in there. WA trying to find their way through. Spadano on circle edge. Will probably opt for the short one down here to King. Does. King opting for the long range shot. Instead decides to reset to Ross, and just that 2-on-1, but Hosier.
Not quite. That would have been a brilliant goal.
Ball over top to Kylie again.
Now Victoria got to be careful on the way they're feeding Kylie now. The angle and the flight on the ball is very lucky it's not being eaten up by King.
So it's almost got... Oh, King wants the fly. Little tap on there by Franz.
Very well controlled.
Great presence of mind to know King was breathing down his neck and just to get it off quickly.
And one of only two misses there for Kylie.
Puts Kylie under a lot of pressure there, Nichols, but they come away with the contact.
And I like the recognition there from Kylie as well, going, no, you take this opportunity, because you need your other goaler having some range and having some confidence in their shot.
So Spadano now, quick off the line. It's just the wayward pass to Burgess, straight into his hands.
Knew where he wanted someone, that no one quite went there.
Yeah. So maybe a bit of miscommunication now. Nichols finds Kylie, and he's going to... Sorry, 15 seconds remaining. So that's the other court. So still some time for Victoria to add to this already commanding lead. 8 seconds. They didn't get to beat the clock last time, but can they do it here? They do. We start with WA in the third quarter. So we come into the halftime break with a 36-9 goal lead to Victoria. Very erratic at the start of that quarter. Both teams sort of settled in and found some combinations that were working. What are we looking forward to in the second half?
I'm looking forward...
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch. And it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg.
At Spud Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
We are back at Bendat Arena in Perth, Western Australia. AMMNA Championships 2023, proudly supported by Netball WA. With Matt, we've enjoyed a half a netball so far between the Victoria men's reserves and the West Australian men's reserves. Started off a little erratic. What's the second half looking like?
I think the second half will be a bit tighter. WA are going to come out hopefully a little bit more settled, having to go at that ball, finding some rhythm again. Whilst the scoreline may be 36-9, I do think there's been some really tight matchups across the court, and the more that can be found for WA, the better they're going to go. And, as we see, an interesting step through the middle there.
Oh, the great long ball over. Change in shooter for WA. So that is Tangata, who's come into to GS now, and Hawthorn back out in GA.
And one thing we've got to remember is it's day one, it's first day of competition. Most coaches tend to put all their players on at some point for at least some minutes to let them find their rhythm. You're not worried about all your combinations working beautifully just yet.
There's a lot of strong combinations for both teams out there. I've seen a few changes and all working really well. All have different strengths. So now Victoria, who've just been let off by WA here. There's been a sort of change in centre for Victoria.
Yeah, Michael Dow has come on to centre for Victoria. And we've also seen Jake Dombrowski's return into wing defence.
So Dower now just playing patiently. Victoria, that long ball in again. We spoke about it last quarter.
And set release point for that. If you're releasing it from too low, it's going to have the wrong arc for that tall goaler to receive.
We spoke about that releasing the pressure for WA. If they work it closer to circle edge, so dangerous.
That's the thing. Now there's another opportunity for WA to try and score, although very tight pressure on the zone set up from Victoria.
So Ness now.
Trying to look over the mess.
Yeah, it does. Finds Hawthorn. And Ness, the swing ball to Ross. And just a miscommunication. That was perfect.
The intention was so good there.
And Victoria with the quick response. So you just spoke before, Matt, about clearing the mess. I've had the privilege of being coached by Teresa Newton, who is the coach for the men's reserves, and she's very big on that. Don't mess around with the mess. Let's get it over there. Let's play into our strengths. So I'll be excited to see if that makes an impact this quarter.
And WA have to play their strengths. They've got a lot of strength out there. They're not showing quite yet, certainly not across the whole court, but I think if they can really step down on each player doing their job, they're well and truly in this game.
So Victoria, King, there he goes. Gets his hands to one. Just falls back in the hands of Kylie.
I reckon this matchup later in the week, if they face each other again, WA, Victoria, could be very interesting. King's starting to work out where to go and where to set up.
That's it. And the ball in by Ross, just tipped by Burgess. So now Victoria, quick in by Dower. Oh, over the top, and King. Now WA moving with pace here. Spadano wants to get it going. Hawthorn resets to Miller. Ross trying to find circle edge. Now Spadano, the ball over top. Maybe the hand by Vic. No. Come back.
Spadano looks good when he's flying through the court like that, when he's on the end of it. Bit harder for him at wing attack than it is at centre, but Jeezy was looking good flying through then.
So Victoria reload now. Dower. Miller and King opting. Great hands in there by Miller. Opting for the 2-on-1 on Kylie. King tries to come around. Just collects Nichols on the way through.
Nice little finish from Nichols. I would like to see him turn and look at the post a bit earlier on that. It's a bit tough to know where your defenders are if you're just going the refeed.
King with the fly. He's caused that one for sure. That's some pressure when you hear GK screaming out of circle. Miller, the cross-court pass from Ness. Dangerous. Almost cut off. Ross now directing traffic. Ness back through Miller in the centre of the court.
Tangata waving the hands down the shoe going, I'm free, I'm free. Just look over the mess.
Oh, that's a great read. Almost needing to come at the ball there, Hawthorn, but it's cut off. Now Nichols. Dower and Nichols here, who has found his stride in this quarter. Happy to shoot.
What impressed me with that from Burgess was really he was out of position for a moment there, but he did the right thing by going, I've got to go for this or I'm burning everyone, which was terrific and rewarded.
Got to take those risks sometimes. I'd love to see the risk now come from WA. When you're in this sort of position, take some risks down there in defence. Spadano. Hawthorn now on circle edge. The swing ball to Ross. The back space. Oh, great quick ball in.
That was a beautiful screen set up. And Tangata turned the body at exactly the right time for the feed.
Great timing down there. That combination now starting to click. So the hand up in there by Kylie. There's the feed around. You're right. I think later in this week, this is going to be a battle to watch.
Thrilling to watch. It's already becoming something to watch.
So King now has moved into WA. Eyes down from the Victorian defence. And
I think we all saw where that ball was going. The defence definitely did not. It was a beautiful pass in.
And just looks like it's got the contact on the post here, maybe. Yes. So now Victoria. Miller. Lockdown defence. Now both defenders opting for the 2-on-1 on Kylie.
And Victoria have got to find circle edge again. They're sitting off a bit, which is creating some of the feeds like that.
On cue. We spoke about it last quarter as well. So dangerous when they're close to circle edge. Miller. Ness opens up the court now. The ball down the line. Unfortunately put King under a lot of pressure. Now King for Victoria. The fly from King. King's everywhere.
Oh,
And
I'm
Nichols.
loving what I'm seeing from King now. He's found some confidence. He's having to go. He may not be getting every one of them, but they're the right choices that he's going for.
Totally. That's the risks we're talking about. Now he's getting his feet around. He's seeing the ball where it's going and he's taking those flyers. That's what you want from your GK. When you've got such a dominant force like Kylie in there at the moment.
Just slightly overshooting there, Nickel.
So Nichols been good since he's come on. WA to reload through Spadano. Now Hawthorn. Great hands in there by Nebraska's. He's had his hand in everything today.
And that is Dambraska's bread and butter, is that flying at wing defence, having to go at the ball. And if he finds his time in, it's pretty hard to stop him.
So Nichols, I almost put the commentator's curse on him, but I was about to say Nichols has become the dominant shooter this quarter now. There's been a change.
Yeah, Smith's come on into goal shooter, just running the slightly different combination. And worth trying and having a run of. There's no point running Kylie for that entire time.
Interesting to see. So just cleaning up the court down here.
Yeah, it does get quite sweaty when someone goes flying along the ground, and you don't want to see anyone landing awkwardly. Especially that's that circle edge one where people do land tough as well.
So a new battle in the shooter's end for Victoria. So it's Smith and King now. Dower. Smith moving with pace. Miller.
Little sneaky layup as well there, Smith.
Yeah, confidence is up and about. So the score now, 47 goals. Victoria leads WA to 12. So King. Nice ball, great movement. Quick.
And a little flick slide on it. Much better finesse on the ball.
It was the perfect pass. Defenders' eyes were down. That's what WA starting to see some moments of clarity now.
And it's going to be a slightly different challenge for King down the defensive circle for WA. Very different style goaler all of a sudden you're up against.
Oh, the hands in there by Dambrauskas again. He's on everything. Such a solid lockdown defender. Now Victoria work it in. This is Nichols. Opts for it out, and Smith now.
And good use of the space there by both goalers. Even though they were a little bit on top of each other, they kept the space between them, which created that ball. Smith unable to finish, though.
Just left it shy. Nichols cleans it up. Oh, great hands in there by Miller. Gets the deflection. It's just been called short.
Yeah, got to look where the hands are going to be on these.
Great back hold. King. Oh, I thought he did a fantastic job of that.
It was a great effort. Ball wasn't placed over quite enough for Smith. Smith did well at trying to rip it in, but superb effort again, King.
It's a very different looking circle down there now. Victoria almost now are working at the circle edge. They don't have that target, so they have to. Dower just collects again.
And I don't mind that change from a coach at times, is to create something different there. It forces your mid-court to actually hit the circle, because then it can't just easy out it.
Totally. Nichols just left it shy, but Smith with the rebounds, and he gets it back to Nichols somehow. Well done, falling out of court.
Lovely finish as well.
Brings up the 50 for Victoria. Oh, great hands over pressure.
They're tough hands to go across as well. The Kings all across the court defensively, definitely tough hands.
So Dower, it opens up to Nichols now. Circle edge, the ball over top. Smith, great front hold. Popped at the perfect time. And Nichols again under the post. Easy rebounds. And two misses in a row. Uncharacteristic. So now Stoddard to rebound for WA. King wants someone to come forward to the ball. Spadano opens up the court. Goes long. Sees Tangata open. He's just fumbled it. Unfortunately.
Well read over the mess. It caught the Victorian defender Burgess just off the body enough to be able to give that. But unfortunate not to be pulled in.
So King. Dower now. So waiting for someone to come forward to the ball here. Now it opens up. King. Oh, almost with his hands in there. Does.
Interesting to go bounce pass in the mid-court to one of your tallest players, but, you know, if it works, it works.
You don't want to do that while Charlie King's around hunting. Look at his hands to a lot of Brady.
Beautifully done. Oh,
He's just
so unlucky for the offside call to then come after that was read perfectly in the pocket.
Brady will get his hands to a lot. Superb lockdown defender, so the change has been made. So Brady to GD. See how this change helps. So straight over with the hands on pressure. Victoria now finds circle edge. Great hands in there by King. Almost. Now finding his way around the body. Nichols. Finishes now.
I would like to see WA trying to force the ball a bit higher in the circle. Yeah. Victoria are getting it at a reasonable shooting distance. Start forcing a long shot. Might be a bit tougher.
So Stoddard's just stepped offside here. Releases the pressure for Victoria. So Dambraskas. Long ball. No one's there.
A lot of miscommunication there. Everyone looking around going, wait, was that you? Was that me?
Not sure what happened there, but they've let WA off there. So WA now to reset through King. Crowded up front now. Brady looks over the mess, wants to clear it. Now King does.
Beautifully placed.
Straight into Charlie King. Bounce past the Tangata. That's better movement, better transition by WA. Spadano circle edge, finds Hawthorn. It's just been blocked out by Burgess. It's his second one for the day.
I would have liked to seen Hawthorn just put up that shot initially without the balk as well. It's range, put it up, you can contest it afterwards.
So Hawthorn now finishes. It's a great bit of transition from WA. Dower, very open transverse line for Nichols. Nichols receives it back.
Just getting caught all in the one space. Got to create a little bit of a different angle there, Victoria. And you can see the setup of a press coming from Victoria once again. They've run this sort of angle press a couple of different times.
Oh, just the wayward pass. So you can see with that press, WA looking to find a body. We can try and find some space out there. So Nichols. Oh, great hands in there by Brady. We'll go at those all day. And Smith now.
It was well cleaned up by Nichols, though, despite the brilliant hands from Brady.
Very deceptive elevation from Brady. Hawthorn, the long ball over, clears the mess to Spadano. Now finds Tangata. Solid shot.
Beautiful shot.
That's confidence building, that one.
We need to see more of that from WA. A little bit of that turn and shoot.
Yeah,
clearly capable of it.
They've got a handful of shooters. Tangata, Hosier, Hawthorn, King can shoot. They're all very, very good at their craft. Hopefully settle in this week.
Sometimes overplaying it, perhaps.
So Spadano now, King. Oh, the read by Dambraskas. He's been the unsung hero today, I think.
Yeah, that ball should have been given earlier and it would have been on, but fed straight into Dambraskas' game. Oh,
very hold. We just had
big tripped over our own player there.
Yeah. So it was Burgess.
Yeah, WA doing good sportsmanship there, I have to say, by waiting for the play. But there was no time call.
No, that is tough. Wow.
I definitely appreciate the sportsmanship from those WA players in that moment, going, are you right? It's so unfortunate to just end up with a turnover as a result of that.
I'm a bit shocked by that one, but, well, there was no time called, so fair call. So now Victoria.
Play to the whistle, I suppose.
That's the one.
The old story.
There's another tip for the people watching at home. If you're a player, play to the whistle. Smith.
And then worry about picking up your player.
That's it. So I like the change from Dower here for Victoria. He's done great out in centre since coming on. So
yeah, a very different style centre to Franz. A bit more patient in his style in terms of will sit off a lot more. Franz, natural attacker.
It's a great transition by Brady, and WA was starting to move well then, but the quick hands in there has just cut it off. Dambraskas with the quick movement to circle edge.
Right idea with where the hold was.
I like this combination of King and Brady.
They're putting a lot of pressure. Unfortunately, straight down Browskis' throat. But I'd say this pressure in this goal third has been so much better, certainly towards the end of this quarter here.
So that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. So the current scoreline, 55-15 in favour of the Victoria men's res. So we'll go into the fourth quarter. Something started to click there for WA. It started to look good in patches.
Yeah, and they can build that from patches into greater periods of time. They're going to become a lot more deadly, a lot more of a threat there. You could see that defensive pressure was brilliant towards the end of that quarter, really stopping them from hitting the circle, Victoria. WA, I think this is going to be an exciting last quarter for them if they can keep that going.
Totally. So WA, it's going to be hard to bring back a 40-goal deficit, let's be honest. But I think going into this fourth quarter, they'll probably look to see what combinations can work over this week and how they're going to look for the rest of the week.
And day one, game one, 40 goals, it's not about that for this last quarter. It's about trying to get your goals, trying to work out what you need to do. Stop Victoria as much as you can. Try and win this quarter.
Totally. If they can win this quarter, they'll take that away as a big win. So looking forward to fourth quarter action here at Bendat in Perth, WA. I've got Matt here with me commentating the AMMNA Championships for 2023. We'll see you back here for quarter four action. Back at Bendat Arena now for the fourth quarter action of the AMMNA Championships 2023. So it's the men's reserves here. Victoria clash with WA. So commanding lead going into the fourth quarter by Victoria, but some sparks of brilliance there for WA and some combinations really working well. So looking to take away some wins from this quarter. Matt, I'm going to go to you early, actually. It's, start of the fourth quarter. Who are you looking at as the best on court here so far?
It is hard when you've had teams make a few different changes. But we have seen Dambrowskis flying at wing defence. Even when he stepped off the court, he's come back on brilliantly there. I'd say there's a bit of a fair team effort going from Victoria. For me, WA has got to be king and keeper. Despite the score that's been coming against him, he has really found himself.
Worked hard out there, totally. I agree. So WA get the quick start they probably look for. Take that away as a win. So now Dower back to Cartwright. Dower over top. Great work by King to get around. Now over top. And Smith with the ball out in front. Nice finish.
And this is an area of Josh Smith's game he's definitely strengthened. Is really trying to pull that in a lot stronger. A couple of years ago, he wasn't always as good at pulling him in, despite his positioning. Brilliant work there.
Oh, there's Dambrowskis again.
Yeah, getting called for the played ball. I think it might have ended up being a step if it had not been the play ball. Great effort, though.
Great read. So Ness. Ross, who's come back on into centre, has just put it straight into the hands of Dambrowskis.
If Ross and Swindano can really find their rhythm across this next couple of days, they're going to be really tough to beat in that mid-court.
Yeah, and you can expect both of them to run out long minutes for many games. I've had the privilege of playing with both players, and they are workhorses. They will go all week. So I'm very excited to see how that combination goes. So Victoria string two together here quickly. And now Ross. Let's get it going through Spadano. Reset through Brady. Again, that centre court bounce pass. Ness wants to get it going quickly, and guess who?
Jakey Dean. He'll be thrilled with that little attempt.
And
Or
King
just off balance. King again, though.
clears the mess. Hosier, the long ball. Oh, let's look at that elevation. Burgess. So a change here in GA as well for Victoria. So I
Yeah,
believe
Steve
that's
McCallum comes on
Yep.
in there. He did start in wing attack, but he's a very lovely goaler to watch.
And on cue, McCallum scores his first for the quarter.
McCallum just is one of those players that just seems to find the right position at the right time. He's not necessarily as speedy as some other players, doesn't play that same dynamic goal attack role, but certainly connects really well.
So now Victoria having to be patient here. The 2-on-1 in the circle, but threads the needle to McCallum. Great pass.
Very quick change for WA. The wing attack with King coming back on.
Yeah, so this combination worked really well in that third quarter as well. So Hosier playing out in GA now. And just the wayward pass, just maybe a miscommunication.
And well driven out by Cartwright, who has come back on into goal defence.
Ness opting with the body on defence there. Gets hands to it. The ball over top. And King. Solid take. And just the wayward pass again, and it's going to be called over.
If King can clean up that pass that little bit, especially as the week goes on, it's going to be terrific because sees over the mess, sees through it. If you can get a goalkeeper that's finishing off well, that's always beautifully.
So now Victoria again patiently, and then Smith in front of Brady. Great take. So really commanding start to the 2023 campaign for Victoria. King and Smith just saying, I wanted that ball over top. Put that on top of my head, please.
And there was a nice little acknowledgement from Dan Braskis going, yeah, I should have given that up straight away as well. But both getting on with it. That's why I also like to see not dwelling.
That's it. And, you know, game one, round one for the week. Let's just shake the nerves out, shake off the cobwebs. Hosier, great ball down to King. Receives his own ball back and within his range. Great shot.
Beautiful shot.
That's the confidence we look for in Hosier. Solid shooter. And King just stripped of it. Asked the question, but no response from the umpire. So now Dower. Oh, the ball in. Look at that. It was a sidearm Tom Brady-esque. I don't know what that was. It was a great pass.
There was nothing conventional about it, despite the fact it was shoulder pass, but it just went through perfectly.
Thread the needle. Wow. Put that one on the highlight reel. Smith, great outside arm by Brady. In front of McCallum. And the call on the other side of the court. Okay. So McCallum from range. Solid shooting. It's always good to have a player who can play out in WA and GA as well. Great understanding of the circle, where to be. King. Back through Brady. Now King. Punches his way through. This is better movement by WA. Reset through Ness. Hosier, the quick ball in. It was the right idea, but fantastic.
Absolutely right idea, just placement. Maybe slightly less flight, maybe a little bit more direct, or give it back to where the body was rather than over quite so much.
And Hosier just in back space. A nice ball over top by Ross. Long range shot just left shy. And Cartwright. McCallum. Big swing ball. Wants the ball back. Look at the read and elevation by King.
A beautiful elevation. Just needed another second weight on that ball. McCallum was coming through, would have taken King out of that contest there.
So now McCallum shut down by King. You can hear the scream from the WA bench. Held. Unfortunately, it's going to come to Smith. And he puts it away. A number of shooting combinations being used down there by Vic all day and proving proving to cause havoc with a lot of defenders actually. So doing a fantastic job the shooting end for Victoria. Oh, almost cut off by Ross. And Smith with the great hold. Great timing on the pop.
Talking about Ross being a workhorse earlier, that determination in the fourth quarter still, his team is losing by a bit, still trying to make something happen.
100%. He's a player with all heart. He'll go at it all week for the team. And is the captain for this WA Res team as well. McCallum back through Dower. Now looking in. The long reset. Now Dower finds McCallum. I would say within his range from what I've seen so
Absolutely within his range.
Oh, don't wait for it. Got to take it.
Definitely thought about it for a moment. You could see him going, let me help you up. Oh, wait, hang on, I'm going to get called for held.
Yep. Remembers the last call. Dower. Dombrowskis. So casual, one-handed. An absolute solid start to Dombrowskis' campaign this year. Smith from range.
Beautiful shot.
Fantastic shot. Great finish. So WA looking to take away some wins from this game. Hosier just quickly off balance. Great pass into Tangata. And quick shot up. That's what you want.
Turn and shoot. WA are capable of this. The more they're able to do that, the much better.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. They have a very deep shooting end and they all can shoot. So turn and shoot.
Players get a little bit confused after that time. The whistle's already gone for the centre pass. That means you don't have to reset.
McCallum. Come on into GA and made his presence known. King. Great front hold by Tangata, but Ross finds circle edge. Back to King at the top of the circle. That's Hosier. The ball over top. Just maybe missed
Just a
time
little bit of eye
touch.
contact there for that one.
Yeah. Just the touch on the pass. Back through Dombrowskis. Dower. Long ball. McCallum releases the circle. Oh, quick hands by King. He's not happy with himself. I'd be happy with that one. It's a great take. Or great deflection. It's been held up here, so WA will want to take away some defensive wins from this one. Hopefully win a quarter. So Smith just on the outside. The GS taking on the outside of the circle. Interesting.
A number of goalers would put that down and give it to a wing to take. Not necessarily a bad thing to have a shooter take that one for a slightly different setup.
Great read by Brady. Getting his hands in there. Again, a player who will go at those all week. So 6 minutes remaining in this quarter and Victoria holding a 50-goal lead over the hosting WA. Beautiful stadium here, Bendat.
Yes, it is a lovely stadium, must say. Light and bright.
So Smith now wants to reset out to Dower. Just rattled off his knees and they're going to call it back. An offside call for Ness, I believe. So Smith again opting for the ball down. And Ross comes away with it. No, it's just fallen into the hands of Cartwright.
They just got to clean up that low ball there,
King.
Victoria. The edge of the circle is mid-court. Have also got to let a goaler know, here's where I want it.
So the deflection by King has now put WA back into attack. Great movement now by WA. Ross clears to Spadano. Spadano over the top. There it is. That's what they've been looking for.
Lovely ball from Spadano. Yeah, Victoria won't be happy with that last passage play. WA superb.
Yeah, fantastic. And King wanted that read. Just pulled out last minute. Stay off the body. But I'm very excited to see what his 2023 campaign looks like. He's putting it all out on court there now at the moment. So just the hands in there by Dombrowskis, and it's a very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, hasn't attracted a lot of whistle.
No.
Which is what you want to see from a wing defence.
Totally.
Keeping away from the umpire's gaze as much as possible.
Spadano, great drive by Hawthorn to release Tangata under the post. And the read from Spadano, put it in perfect spot. This is better by WA. Coming away with some little wins around the court. They'll take these into the rest of the week. And as I say that, Victoria have let WA off here. So Miller, who's now moved into GK, to put WA back into attack. Oh, you could see that being picked off. So great option. Stoddard down through Spadano. Hawthorn. Back through Spadano. This is better movement by WA. Now the ball over top. Tangata with the fantastic hold on Burgess.
And I have spoken about the low release not always being the right option. But the way Spadano releases it with a little bit of backspin from low, it fits in with a very New Zealand style of pass. It can work from there. It's about the trajectory that you're throwing that at.
So WA have now strung 3 together. I think that's most they've strung together this game. So they'll take that away as a big win, massive win.
And Victoria have made a change to try and settle their attack line. Fran's coming on into wing attack.
Deflection now by Brady.
Don't doubt the hands of Brady by any means.
No, this is the spark. Brady clears the mess. Look at the long pass to Spadano. Now Ross drives. This
Burgess
movement,
saying no thank you.
yeah, this movement now looking a lot better. A lot cleaner down court. But Burgess hard to beat down there in the circle. Miller through Stoddard. Oh, it's just...
And that was that tough one because it was right up near the transverse line. Smith had no room to go into, but beautifully read.
I just have no words. Dombrowskis has put on a clinic in WD today,
Best on.
I would say. Spadano.
We'll edit that out of the feed. He definitely does not need to hear that.
If I commentate his games again, I'll make sure just to leave him out a little bit, shall I? Ross. Now Hawthorn. The hands in there? Yes. Just on
No, I think everyone knew that. You could tell by the reaction. Dombrowskis as well going, was that a whistle?
So Hawthorn steps in. Opts for the shot. Great high arcing shot.
Never looked like missing on release, that one.
Fantastic finish by Hawthorn. McCallum now with a long pocket ball. And he put him under pressure. Yeah, so he's put Franz under pressure there and it's gone out of court. So Miller. Now Brady. Oh, just the wayward pass.
Well chased, though. Oh, not quite. Spadano doing everything could to try and keep that in for WA.
Ball on court here, so we'll just hold up. Cartwright. Great movement to lose his defender. Dower now through Franz. McCullum. Oh, great hands in there by Stoddard. Oh, just the ball over top. No, they're going to bring it back. We'll come back to
Yeah, a
Franz.
late contact call, I think, was the one that there was generally a reason when a wing attack drops the ball, and I think the umpire realised just a little bit late.
So Smith now finishes for the contact call. So a minute 20 to go here in the last quarter. Spadano with the cross-court pass to Stoddard. And just, unfortunately, maybe a miscommunication between Hawthorn
A little bit of
and
a
Ross.
curve on the lead, throwing it out a little bit there.
Yeah.
WA. I mean, Victoria are sitting on 71 goals, but I don't think they'll be happy with this last 5 to 7 minutes of this quarter.
WA defence end really locked down, and the transition down court has just been chalk and cheese from what we saw in the first couple of quarters. It's been great to watch. Smith. So 50 seconds remaining now. Commanding lead to Victoria. Started off their 2023 campaign really strongly. Smith opts for the pass to McCallum.
Very late offload, but perfectly timed at the same breath.
So Hawthorn. Love to see the fight from these WA boys as well. None of them have stopped. None of them have dropped their head. Keep
And
pushing.
from a coach, that's what you want. You're playing out the game despite the scoreline. You want people fighting to that end of the game because that's going to what dictates the next couple of days.
Exactly. Spadano, patient. Ross. Hawthorn now enters. Great option. Good patience.
I like those angles there.
And Hawthorn. He's shooting confidently in this last quarter. So Vic looking to beat the clock here. Don't think it'll happen. Or may do still.
Yeah, unless it was a penalty, which there was not.
So that's going to bring us to the end of the Victoria versus WA men's reserves clash here at Bendat. This is the start of the AMMNA Championships in 2023, proudly supported by Great Temptations, Sweet Treats. So, Matt, that was a lot of takeaways from that game for both teams, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite the scoreline, WA can hold their head. It's absolutely high. They started finding some combinations. Defensively, they really found a lot of pressure towards the end. And I think if they can just clean up the attack, especially from probably transverse to transverse, that'll help them out a lot, and they'll be tough as the week goes on. Victoria won't be happy with the end of that game. They lost rhythm. They lost the flow that they'd had early on. But they'll definitely be happy they were able to rotate through players and, for the most part, didn't lose out on the intensity.
Yeah, a couple of standout there in the last quarter as well. I mean, Hawthorn came on and shot quite confidently for WA, and you had Brady and Miller working really well down there in defence. But all game leading up to that, King worked extremely hard in at GK.
King really found time in as that game went on, and My gosh, that's going to be exciting to watch in any of these reserves matches that King plays.
Totally. Looking forward to seeing both of these teams go deep into the 2023 AMMNA Championships. They'll be looking forward to this week. A lot of wins for both teams, a lot to take away also. So we'll leave it there with that, Matt. Thank you for joining me today in commentary.
Absolute pleasure.
It's been fantastic. We'll see you next time here for another clash at Bendat Stadium for the AMMNA Championships 2023.